thought I would show you a little bit of the garden outside the window today. Just a little bit of the roses and a little garden there. And that, hey, how are you doing? Gotta get this turned around. So hi guys, just thought I'd show you that. I'm in a different room today. The other day I did from the front. Today I'm doing from where they do their breaks. And since no one's here now, they just changed over, so there's no one doing break. I can come back here long enough to do my live stream. Keep my dad in prayers. I mentioned it the other day. I don't know how things are really going. I know he's going to be going to therapy for a few weeks to do some recuperation and get stronger. There's been a lot of doubts on my mind of what I was going to do. Yeah, I wish I could say, oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm really not. I'm down. I wish I could see my dad. I did do a video call earlier with him. That felt good. I don't know if anybody knows it, but I do really care. I really love him. I can't be there, and so I'm talking. I feel closer to some of you than I do others. At least some of you are here every day to talk. And so it's something I really appreciate. And so I hope you're doing okay, Foxy Wolf. I almost didn't come on tonight, but I was like, yeah, do it. Come on. The piece that you've seen isn't for my, well, I guess I had, not for my main channel, not for my Art of Living Adventures channel. It's for the Power of Love, how do I say, it's a project, Power of Love project. So this is the first piece I was showing. When I do the video, you'll know more about who the pieces represent, because each one of them will tell you. But this is for the shooting that happened in Buffalo, and it's going to go on the Power of Love. There's 10 pieces representing each person, and these are canvases. These are pretty lightweight, and I can mail these. I'll probably not this one's because it's 11 by 14, but the 8 by 10s I can, and I can mail those out. There's 2 11 by 14s, and they're real lightweight. The canvas, and they'll represent each person that died during the event. I'll be doing a video and stuff, so everyone can kind of get a feel for the way Power of Love works. That's what what the Power of Love is all about. It's about stilling the hate that caused the casualty, caused the injury, and turning it into love. Stilling the anger and turning it into peace. Stilling the sadness and turning it into gladness. I can only go from the experience I have of loss, and when this is hard to say in a way that makes sense because I didn't know her, but that was part of my loss. Part of the thing that I held on to is what my grandmother was murdered. That is a loss I experienced it through my dad and into my life because I didn't know. And I often wonder how she would be, what would she be like, how would my dad be if she was still alive, would things be bad, be good, be happy, be sad? Don't know any of those things. My dad loved her, and I know that, and I know that my dad had to been cared for him to be who he is now. So having that death, I do understand it. I don't understand a child dying. I don't understand the gun being shot and multiple people laying on the ground. I can't imagine it because it shouldn't exist. But I can understand it because I have lived with it my entire life. From the day I was born to the day I die, I will have experienced it through and leading up to me personally. So saying that, I know that's kind of odd and doesn't make sense, and most people are like, well, what do you mean you'll experience it? Having a loved one die, whether it's someone you know or experience in other ways, you don't understand it. So Fox Wolf just put up the Power of Love project. All the work I do is in dedication to my grandmother, but the pieces are in memory of different loved ones. Here's another one of the pieces. It's really cool. Someone, the big toy collection, this was in it. These really neat stickers, and they were a wall hanging, and so it just worked perfectly for these. Painted the canvas and just adorned them with the stickers. Here in No Much, Kentucky is horse country, so it's really a popular thing is to have horse motifs in Kentucky. I don't know about other places, but Kentucky is bluegrass, the home of the Kentucky Derby, the races, the big thoroughbred stakes all happen here. So, and the horses motif was pretty good for a restart. I'm working on 2 other projects. One of them is 99% done. I was going to show it tonight instead of this one until the 2 pieces I've been fighting decided to fall right before I was getting ready to head down the hall. So I was like, well, I can't take those with me. But I think this says it all. In the middle of chaos, there's beauty. In the middle of struggling and running and not knowing where to go, there's beauty and peace and tranquility. These horses are just galloping to enjoy their life for that day. And there's chaos and stuff around them, but they're peaceful, they're tranquil. Something to think about. Do you feel the tranquility today? Do you feel the peace? Do you understand what these mean? So, like I said, Power of Love is a special project. I took it off this channel mainly because I didn't want those videos on here. Now I'm going to show the art, and when I have things like this, I don't want to be it's not a dreadful discussion when I'm showing these. I'm just in a bad, down mood for other reasons. With my dad being in the hospital and getting sick and now going to a nurse home for a few weeks. My mind is there, but I wanted to do this. I really want to honor these people, these individuals. Look at this one. Now, what is interesting, I'll show you in a second, this one wasn't one of the pieces. You would have seen this from some of the wood pieces I've made in the past. The shapes I took and made the canvases. This canvas from one of those. When you see the ones tomorrow, you can probably see here. See the circles? See where the circles are? Okay, the pieces I did, there are two pieces I did this series and the next using the same paint and canvases. So I took these were the canvases and I took these circles and put them on here and made them the painted figurines. Isn't that cool? When I thought about doing it, would you? So two of the series come out of the same paint. So I got a few more here to show. They're sad that I have more to show. I wish I didn't have one to show. Somebody said, "Oh, that's so neat, you do that." And I'm like, it's the saddest thing I do because none of us should have to do it. It shouldn't be a project that even exists. But here's the thing, you can't participate in the Power of Love project. There's no way that I can ever do justice by presenting enough pieces of art for the series. So if you're interested in doing a collaboration on the Power of Love, I can, and it doesn't always have to be art. I've thought about this, and there's other ways that you could do this. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's, make goods and give them to your next door neighbor with the name of someone that died. I don't know. We could come up with some different collaboration. Art's the easiest thing because you can easily abandon it. Trust me, I've abandoned thousands. But anyhow you do it, like here's 10 pieces that were done. And I got 21 in the room, so that's 31 pieces ready to be abandoned. Last week I did like 60. So right there's right at 100 pieces that are done in a short period of time. I was told that I'm like an elf factory. I wish it wasn't for this, I just wish it was for fun. I do have a fun piece coming out, and I'm thinking about showing it tomorrow, because it'll be done and do that tomorrow, and do the Power of Love on Monday, so that tomorrow I can do a real bright and cheerful thing. Well, no. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Here's another one of the pieces. I mean, you can see like the horses, like sheen and stuff on these. These are some of the most well-made stickers I ever seen. They were, I got a little thing there in it. I have to work on that. But it'll dry out as it goes. These are meant to put on a wall. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, these were some of the nicest stickers I've ever worked with. I've done some sticker work in the past. Oh, that's just from being on the board. Okay, the wrinkle was because it was just on the board. Yeah, I've used stickers for other projects, and this is the best. So tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit lighter one, as long as my dad is okay. Now, I didn't get to explain what happened. Really haven't gotten into much detail about what happened on Wednesday. I can't believe it's Saturday and this all happened Wednesday. I want to get in the part where my dad got sick. I'm just not going to air that. Just know my dad's been sick. It happened during the trip. He's in the hospital, going to go to rehab, and just lift him up in prayers. I don't want to bring it up any further than that because I don't want anything said about me talking about it on live stream, okay? Dog, diggy dog there. So Wednesday, and I don't remember if I even told this part of the story. So Wednesday we get there and we're gonna see the apartment for the first time. And when I get there, and as soon as we're getting the wheelchair out, and the woman from Transitions is meeting me. And she's like, oh, it's glad to have you here. Hey, how Patty Fish. I just got here. We can look at what you got. Let's get your chair. See, I'm supposed to meet him at the apartment. It's a little bit before time, so we go up to the door, so we'll be there when they get there. And we're sitting there, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. We start calling, we're waiting, we start calling. No one's calling us. We're calling again. No one's calling us. All right, so no one has showed up at the door. No one is answering the calls. We're like, what's going on? You know, no one is here. So Sky comes up, and his mother, get this one. His mother's in the apartment next to the one I'm supposed to be renting, and he's like talking to us, and he's telling us all about things and about the apartments, and he's like, yeah, I haven't seen anyone here yet. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they just aren't here. And so he tells me that it's a real close community and that everybody that's there gets a lot of help from the community, that people would sometimes will come in and his mom will have so much stuff in front of her store you can't even get in because it's so much food and goodies left for his mom. I'm like, oh, wow, this is not. And he goes, and they do it for everybody. They do it for everybody down here. And I was like, well, that's neat. That's neat. Sounds like somewhere I want to check out. And so he's putting up the trash can, so I find out I'm going to have to buy a trash can, which isn't bad, just new knowledge. And then he goes to take clothes to the laundry, and what a bang, he comes back and he goes, there's people down in the laundry. So transition woman leaves me, and she's already been talking about this. So it had a real stiff incline with the wheelchair, and then the porch, and my chair was wide enough that there was a ledge that I could easily hit that ledge and trip, okay? So before we're just even talking about it right there, she's like, well, they'll have to do something about that. An easy accommodation system seen it, so that'd be easy. So anyhow, they come up, and she goes, sure enough, they're back there getting ready to leave thinking I hadn't showed up. Not realizing I was up front thinking they hadn't showed up. So about 35, 40 minutes in, a lot of confusion, it was all taken care of. So then we get to go into the apartment, and you go in the door. As soon as you get in the door, a foot in is a closet. And I'm like bumping in and having to try to turn around this closet. And I'm having to move it backwards and forwards. Okay, talk to you later, Catfish. So we finally get the wheelchair in, and immediately that was a big concern. She's like, well, that's close, Michelle. So then, and I was supposed to be handicapped accessible apartment. And she's like, that's close. I'm like, yeah, it's close. So then we go up to the door. When we get up to the door and we get inside, I could get into the kitchen, it was okay. A little bit close, it was okay. The front room and the kitchen are combined. which was fine, had a little counter in between. And so, we're kind of putting together everything at that point. And I go in the bathroom, then to the bedroom to check out the bedroom, and I can't get in the door. It won't go in the door. I am like totally unable to enter the door. So they go get my wheelchair, walker, so I can walk in there. Well, it's not set up handicap accessible. Well, immediately we're in this look like this just isn't gonna work. So this apartment ain't gonna be the one because of that. So the woman's like, okay, hold up, what other apartments are available? So she the general manager, or the area manager, I can't remember which one, went to check on the other available apartments. Well, one of the apartments that was open was the second building, it's on the first, and went down, and the first thing we noticed was we didn't have the issue with my wheelchair coming off the thing because it already been addressed. So I was like, well, that's a kicker. And then, so, that's it. And then the closet is moved, so when you go in, there's the full like 2 or 3 foot, and I can turn my wheelchair, so it's great. I get the door turned, I was like, this will work, the closet looked good. Kitchen doesn't have the counter, so I can get away freely in it, so it's just like it's a big empty room with the back, a kitchen, and the front there's a window and an air conditioner, and like all this space in the closet. I was like, this is nice. Then I go in the bedroom, and my chair doesn't go in the bedroom. Second apartment, the chair won't go in the bedroom. So now we're into about an hour and a half. And at this point, it's sweltering heat, and that didn't help the situation with my dad. And they ended up, they could modify it as long as they got an order from here, and then they would modify it. So, I am getting an apartment at the same apartment complex, just not the same apartment, so I didn't get the key on Wednesday. I'm gonna get the key after I move into the new place. I mean, after they fix the apartment. So that's where we're standing. So they got to take the door that's 30 inch to 36, because we got to be able to wheel, and I can't wheel into the bedroom. And it doesn't give me clearance for the wheels. The chair does, but not the wheels. So they got to do a modification. And 36 would be perfect. And so that's what is going down at the apartment abode. And they're going to change out the front room door because it's not handicapped. Everything's up the peephole are like up here, out of the way from, peephole's way up, and here's my eyes. And the handle is in between my eyes and the peephole. So they're gonna change out the door to a handicap door. So that's where the apartment stands. That'll put me a little bit further into the next couple of weeks being here. I asked them how long. They said we'd only change things for about a week. So I still get moved in. We went over my shopping list, which just blows my mind, all the things that I can get on my yeah, It's very positive. I do have it. They said it would be about a week longer than what we were doing before, so about a week later. So it's on this week, next week, and I did my shopping list, and it's gigantic. It amazed me how much stuff I really needed to set up an apartment with what I brought with me from Louisville. I have a bed and some cabinetry and good 2 chairs and cabinets. I don't remember what I got. And the cabinets are basically just storage, and I'll use them to separate my studio out so that my studio will be separate from my living space. And make me like a little cubby hole that'll just be studio, and I can go in it now, and it can be left untouched all during the time. And I won't know what to do having a studio. Again, that's all mine. And there's no rush for me to produce because I'm not going to be able to send much out. So, there's where we stand. Long story, I do have an apartment. Short story is it's going to be longer. Longer story is going to be figuring out how to do the move. And the longest story is how to adjust to the new normalcy that having an apartment is. You get to where, and this is something I told them today, there's something about being in a nursing home, the daily rhythm and rhyme of being in a nursing home, you get used to it. You get used to the way it is, the support system, the therapy, the nurses, the CNAs, the restorative therapy. You get used to that. I say, and I'll go up for orientations, and I say, this is like a family. You're coming into our family. You're coming into our homes. And that's what they're doing. They're coming into our homes. They're coming into new places, joining us in new places. And that's really strange to think about. And they do become your family. They're there for you sometimes. They see the daily in and out and understand things from a different perspective than somebody that hasn't lived with you. They know your good sides, your bad sides. Yeah. And the hardest part's going to be leaving that support system. But here's what's happened. I got you guys to talk to. And that's going to be a very helpful thing in the future. Being able just to come on and talk for my half an hour, hour and a half, whatever it turns into. So, number one, I won't have to move locations. Wherever I'm at, I can just throw on a live stream. I love Miss Southern Belle because if she's going into a grocery store, boom, she slams that on. She, come on, go with me on this sprout run. That's what was, I think today's or yesterday. She went and done her little sprout run. It's amazing that she has that much, I'm going to do this wherever I'm at. She'll take you into a Whole Foods store, a Sprout store, Walmart, just wherever her little heart desires. She'll open mail, have all these short live streams. And what I would like to do is at least once a month go on an abandonment trip And what I mean for that, it wouldn't have to be out of Georgetown, but go to someplace and do a mass abandonment. Like there's a water park, that would be a great place to do a first abandonment. Just walk around, put stuff around while people are having fun on the water park, and come back and find stuff sitting in their chairs. And that would be so much fun. Also, I can enjoy the water park. If I do that, and you're from Georgetown, you didn't hear me say I was going to do that. Here's this. This is the last one of the 10 pieces. I had debated on putting the glitter on any of the others, and I don't, the big ones I think it helps having the glitter. The other ones, there's not that much canvas left over, and so it didn't have to happen. So those are the 10 pieces that I'm going to be using. I want to thank you guys for checking in with me. Thank you for coming back day after day, listening to my crazy stories. I do have an apartment. I will be getting a P.O. box. As soon as I get a P.O. box, I will put it out there. And you know what I say at the end of spring? We all stay safe. Take care of each other. And as I go to relax for the night, we go take it easy. And always remember, you got support if you just look in the right places. Thanks for being mine. As always, happy baby.